Good afternoon. This is RCB News, and I am Ryan Bowling. I want to read a portion of an article that I got up on the internet called News Punch. It's in reference to R. Kelly, the famous R&B artist that we all know and many of us love, and his case involving pedophilia. And I'm going to read this article, and I'm going to give my spin on it afterwards. I want to try to reveal maybe the bigger picture of what I believe personally this is all about. You can find a link to the article in the description box below to read it on your own. But the article's heading says, R. Kelly vows to expose Hollywood pedophile ring. Big names will be revealed. It states R. Kelly wants to dish the dirt on other Hollywood elites who he claims have also engaged in child rape. According to an insider who has known R. Kelly for decades, quote, R. Kelly and his team are working with the feds to reduce his prison time. He'll provide evidence against other celebrities who were pedophiles, and they'll reduce his sentence. He claims that one of the people R. Kelly is prepared to expose is, quote, rapper, and the other is a huge singer. Let me say that again. He claims that one of the people R. Kelly is prepared to expose is a, quote, rapper, and the other is a, quote, huge singer. And I'm going to stop the article right there. You can read the rest of the article in the description box below. But I wanted to say something right up front here. Those of you who already know about the situation with what's that man's name? Epstein, what he was accused of, what had been proven was a case that he was involved in sex trafficking, pedophilia, and other things. In fact, he was involved in these things for quite some time, and the authorities knew about it, and they let him go. Now, there's a whole lot of information that deals with why they let him go or why they overlooked the case. But the point of the matter is that they let him go. Eventually, he ended up going to jail. He ended up trying him, and what do we know? He ended up dying, or as some theories say, he was murdered. In my opinion, in my personal opinion, I believe he was murdered, but that's a whole nother issue. Here's the thing that I thought about in this article about what R. Kelly wants to do, expose others involved in this. First of all, what this seems to indicate clearly from my perspective is that R. Kelly was into something that was much deeper than face value. In other words, the way I see it, it wasn't so much him being a matter of, he liked to fool around with younger kids or younger girls, whatever, and he liked that, and that was appealing to him personally. It seems to suggest that in order for you to make it big in the industry, you have to be involved in some nasty, dark stuff, at least from my perspective. Because what he's saying here is that, hey, look, to reduce my time, and like I said, you can read the rest of the article, to reduce my time, I'm going to expose other people, a rapper, and what else? The other one said, a rapper and a singer or a celebrity. I'm going to expose other people that are involved in this. What that suggests to me is that, hey, if you're going to make it big in the industry, if you're going to be a multimillionaire and on all these commercials, making all this money, having all these fans falling over, you're going to have to bow down to the altar of immorality. That's what that seems to suggest to me. And so, unfortunately, what I believe that may end up doing, if Epstein was, I think I said Epstein, but if Epstein or Epstein, however way you want to pronounce his name, was murdered because they feared, the powers that be feared that he was going to expose other people in this sex ring, then the same thing I believe may happen to R. Kelly. Because according to the article, I'm not going to go too far until you read on your own, he's facing some serious time. So therefore, he's in trouble. If Epstein was murdered, this same thing may happen to him. So you might expect. So don't be surprised if R. Kelly exposes some people in the industry, and all of a sudden he mysteriously dies in his sleep, or he mysteriously, or he hangs himself, or he commits suicide. Really? You know, just something to think about. It's just a theory, and it's just my opinion on that. But this sex trafficking thing includes names of people that you and I like. Let's face it. We got to be real with ourselves, the way I see it. We got to be real with ourselves. This whole thing is really, really a dark and nefarious road to be going down to that I'm not going to go down. I'm not going to go down that road on this news station, because that will more than likely be on Revelation 2.0, which is my other YouTube channel, which is strictly for dealing with biblical prophecy and dealing with spiritual things. So if you want to know about all of that and the underlying spiritual basis that energizes these type of acts, you can go to that channel, Revelation 2.0. But you know what's interesting to me is that on Facebook, I was on Facebook the other day, not when it broke down. That's a whole nother story. Well, supposedly it broke down or went out of commission or session, whatever. I didn't even know, because I'm not on Facebook for hours. But anyway, when I was on Facebook, I scrolled down and there was someone that I know had asked a question. He put a post up and said, would you guys still listen to R. Kelly's music? Knowing that he had been found guilty of these things, would you still listen to his music? And one person responded, and this person that responded, and this person, I knew this person, you know, this person responded with, yes, they would listen to R. Kelly's music, even if he's found guilty. And the reason why they would still listen to him is because they believe that his situation is racially motivated. They would listen because they feel that he's racially. In other words, the only reason why the authorities or the powers that be are after R. Kelly is because he's black. The problem, in my view, with that viewpoint is that what about Epstein? From what I understand, and correct me if I'm wrong, but from what I understand, I don't think Epstein was black. I think he was white, and if he wasn't white, he certainly wasn't black. I don't see no melanin in his skin that indicated he was anything but a white man. So I don't think it's a racial issue. I think that if the facts point to him being involved in pedophilia, then he knew he needs to do the time just like everybody else needs to do the time. Okay, I don't think this is racially motivated in my view. I think that perhaps, and I've read articles and I've heard of stories where R. Kelly was involved in some very nefarious stuff. What's kind of funny about this, and not the fact that he's involved in pedophilia, but I couldn't help but think about a skit that I was watching on the Dave Chappelle show. Some of you probably already seen that skit where they had R. Kelly singing these songs, and it's just so crazy. Doo-doo on me and pee on me. I want you to pee on me. I want you to doo-doo on me. Oh, it was so hilarious. And Dave Chappelle clearly was making it comical, but he was also being socially relevant. He was sharing in so many ways that this man was involved in some dark stuff. And what I wanted to simply say is this. My whole thing is this. What this points to is what I would call celebrity worship. If someone is willing to continue to listen to this, and it's just my opinion, to continue to listen to the music of this individual, to continue to engage in buying their material and so forth, and knowing that they're engaged in some very nefarious things, then that means from my perspective, that means you are promoting this person to a God status. In other words, you don't care what they do, what they say, you're still going to bow down to the altar of that individual. That's the person you still, and I hear people say, well, you know, that's something they did separate. I don't have nothing to do with that. I like their music. And I get that. I understand. But what if their music that you buy and you listen to, if they're still getting royalties. Now, mind you, if R. Kelly goes to prison, obviously he's not going to get any royalties because he's going to be in prison for a long period of time. But I can only assume that it's going to go into his estate or whatever. So, The point is that to say something like that, I'm going to still listen to his music, whatever, because I think that they after him because he's black. I disagree with that. If the facts point to him being guilty, then he should do the time, regardless of what his racial ethnicity is. Okay, but once again, going back to the celebrity worship thing, I think that we get to the point in our society where we start worshiping these celebrities, then that's a real bad road to be going down. That's a real bad road to be going down when we can elevate these celebrities, whether they're singers, whether they're politicians, because some of these some politicians are celebrity status. Okay, come on now. Whether they're politicians, whether they're singers, whether they're actors, whatever. When you get to the point where you start worshiping these people, then you start bypassing any bad thing that they may have done or said. It doesn't matter to you. All you're looking at is their talent. And that could lead to some very destructive things. I did a video some time ago on Nicki Minaj. And as I was saying before, I didn't really listen to Nicki Minaj's music. I'm not much of an admirer of her. And I'm not attacking her as a person. I'm talking about her music. I didn't really listen to her music or anything like that. But the music that I did hear in passing with other people listening to, it was very sexually provocative. And in my opinion, I don't believe that music is healthy. And just recently, she had a situation where she ended up telling her followers, her millions and millions of fans and followers, to be careful with taking the vaccine. And she got a lot of backlash for that. And as I said in the video, I was watching an image of these young people protesting the CDC. And it was a whole bunch of them protesting the CDC. And what that showed me was that these young people, even though Nicki Minaj hadn't been singing for a while, she's gotten married, she's kind of like quiet right now. And from what I understand, she has her own YouTube channel or online. I don't know. You can correct me if I'm wrong. It has millions of subscribers, I'm pretty sure. It showed the level of dedication that these fans had to her. Now, here's the reason why I said it, because what if she starts doing something, I'm just using the scenario, something really nefarious, something really dark. Would those millions and millions of young people, mostly young people, be willing to follow her? Would they be willing to follow her? The same scenario here with R. Kelly. Great singer. I've heard some of his songs. I wasn't much of a listener to R. Kelly's music. I didn't really, I wasn't really, but I've heard some of his music, and he's a very talented person. He's very talented. But talent alone, in my opinion, is not enough. You have to have a moral compass to be able to undergird your talent. A person can have great talent but have terrible character. You look at people like Mike Tyson. I loved Mike Tyson as a boxer. Loved him as a boxer back in the 80s and 90s and so forth. But we all know his character did not undergird his gifting. His character did not undergird his talent. And he ended up getting into a lot of trouble because he lacked character. Now he's bounced back, thank God. He's bounced back, and I thank God for him. But he realized himself that his character didn't undergird his talent, and it hurt him. It tainted his career. Well, the same situation here is that if this situation is true, which in my opinion, I believe that he was involved in some nefarious things here, R. Kelly, then his talent, his character is not undergirding his talent. But yet you got people saying, well, I'm going to listen to his music anyway. I don't care. I'm going to listen to him anyway. He's talented because this is a racial thing. No, I don't think it's a racial thing. We got to be more, in my opinion, we have to be more discerning in that. We have to be more discerning in that. I think it's not healthy to elevate and put these celebrities up on a pedestal of worship. Admire them for their talents, but remember, they're still human. They're only human, and they're capable of doing some horrible things like every human being on the face of the earth. Me, you, whoever, we're all capable of doing some very dark things because we all are flawed, one way or the other. And we really don't know what we would do if pressure was put on us. All these celebrities are humans with great talents. That's what they are, humans with great talents, but all of them don't have the character that they need to undergird their talent. And my point simply to say is that, and I'm just putting it out there, look, man, look, admire them, but don't worship them. But listen, girl, that's just my spin on this. Look, if he's guilty, he needs to do the time. If he's not guilty, then I hope that he's set free and he can go ahead and pursue his career. But if you guys have anything to say about this, if you agree or disagree with me, give your comments below. What do you think about the portion of the article that I read? I mean, what do you think? You think that this pedophile thing is bigger than this whole thing is bigger than R. Kelly? I personally believe it is. It's huge and been going on for a long time. Some people even say it merges into Satanism. And I know some people say, oh man, you talking spiritual, But look, it don't matter whether or not you and I believe in Satan or not. These people believe in Satan, and they're willing to take young people. I'm not going to give away too much on YouTube, to take young people and do things with them that is just not proper. Let's believe it at that. And many of them are involved in the sex ring thing. Okay, many of them are involved in this sex trafficking. Many of them are involved in that. So there's a lot of different variables with this sex trafficking thing. It's deeper and darker than what a lot of people know. So I'm going to leave it at that and just simply say, let's pray for the best. If he's guilty, he needs to do the time. If he's not guilty, then hopefully he'll get set free. But if you guys have any comments, please let your comments be made known. Tell me your opinion on all of this. If you like this video, press the like button, share this video, and subscribe. God bless you, and see you again on RCB News.